When it comes to investing for any major financial project, whether it is buying your first house, whether it is planning for retirement, or whether it is financial freedom, one question many investors would ask themselves is, should you invest in growth and take your portfolio to the next level? Or should you invest in more stable investments or more predictable investments and be more secure? It is something that we ask ourselves a lot because we're going to need growth to really take our portfolio to the next level. But you're also sacrificing stability. You're sacrificing predictability for more volatility. On the other hand, when you invest in more stable type of investments, you're sacrificing high growth. Your portfolio is not going to grow as much, but you have stability, you have more predictability. It is a trade-off that many people they tend to question themselves about. But each one of these will grow your wealth, but there's a time and a place where you may want to use more growth and a time and a place where you may be looking at more stability. In today's discussion, I'm going to be explaining under what condition or circumstances you can use growth funds and what circumstances would you be able to use more income funds. But if you haven't met me before, my name is Leon Mann. I'm a licensed wealth consultant with Money Assist Financial. And what I do, I help hardworking folks such as you and you add an additional multiple 6 and 7 figures to your retirement portfolio by basically providing a free financial analysis to begin. You see, by looking at the analysis, you'll be able to basically map out where you currently are and where your desired lifestyle should be. It's a great way to get into. Now, what are growth funds? When you think of growth, think disruptive industries. Think of industries that will one day change the way that you live and do things within the world. I know when we think of growth industries, we think of artificial intelligence, we think of electric vehicles, we think of solar power, for example, right? All of these have the potential to change the way that we live, but it is very risky because it is volatile, right? Meaning that your portfolio can be sky high one day and the next day it can really bottom out or really drop. But you have to be willing to take the losses if you want to invest in a lot of growth funds. The main purpose of growth funds, remember, is to take your portfolio to the next level, is to appreciate your assets. So one day you do not have to go to work, but you can let your money go to work for you, right? Now, what is income? Income funds or more stable type of investments. What this does, it is more predictable, right? It allows for more stability and security, something that you can sleep better at night. For those of you who can't stomach heavy losses, think of energy, think of banking and finances, think of consumer staples, because these are industries that are always going to be consistent and reliable. Even in a recession, you're still going to be using things like consumer staples, you're still going to be using energy, you're still going to be using banking and financials because they're going to be heavy in demand no matter what the market condition is. You want to basically invest in more stable and income type funds because you don't want to stomach high losses, right? This is perfect if you want to preserve your investment portfolio, for example, after you built it up. You built it up for a while and you want to preserve it. And these are for those of you who are closer to retirement, or perhaps you are already retired. You want to basically consider more income funds because this is more predictable, it is more stable. And with this in mind, you know that you are on track, for example, right? So if you basically can't stomach a high loss, then this type of portfolio is the ideal set of circumstances that you may want to take up. Now, reasons to invest in growth, number one, is if you have a long ways towards retirement, right? If you have many, many years and you can afford to take heavy losses, that is, you don't care about the short-term losses, you care about the long-term financial compounding of your money, bringing you financial security and financial freedom eventually, right? These are for those of you who are many years away where you simply buy and you hold it. You don't want to take it out for emergency situations. You want to just buy and you want to hold for a long period of time. We're talking like decades. And for those of you who wants to buy income funds, you got to be closer to retirement, or you also got to be retired, right? These are people that like more stability, people that like more security in terms of the investment portfolio. Now, the good news, you can basically invest in both. Balance it out between the percentage of growth and the percentage of income, depending on the phase you are, depending on the risk tolerance, depending on your goals, depending on the lifestyle needs. Each one of these can be balanced out by the percentage and the factor that you basically want to consider, right? It all depends on the timeline, the risk tolerance that you want to take in mind, but they all serve a purpose. But everyone has the potential to do any one of these, right? There's no set or the other, but you can basically balance it out depending on the percentage that you want to invest. Here's the thing. The best time to start investing is right now. Remember, just because you start investing, it is not set in stone. It is not set in concrete. You can always make adjustments. You can always adjust your portfolio according to your risk tolerance, according to your lifestyle needs. And the way to do this is by updating your investment portfolio every few years, because you may become more risk averse, right? You can't stomach heavy losses at a later point in your life. Make sure that you go over with your financial consultant every couple years and align it to your goals, align it basically to the type of lifestyle that you would like to lead when you're retired, when you're achieving those financial goals. Now, as we have mentioned before, when it comes to growth, the growth looks at more in the future. And when it comes to income or stability, it focuses more on the present. And the more wiser investors, they have a tendency to balance both of them. So you want to take your time and you want to look over it more carefully. You want to do your due diligence and you want to select the right balance that is ideal for your lifestyle and your goals. So this just concludes the presentation for today. By the way, guys, feel free to subscribe. It is free to subscribe and click the notification bells. Every time we post a video, it's gonna come out. I discuss financial literacy and we are going to be set. We're gonna show you how to go about doing this from day one. And gradually we're gonna build it up. We're gonna make sure that you're able to achieve your lifestyle and also your ideal circumstances in the way to come. So until next time, this is your boy Leon Man signing off. Peace and love. Take care.